What is up, guys? My name is Sean, and welcome to the How to Hero YouTube channel, where it's my job to awaken the hero within you. There's a hero within all of us. You may have noticed I have a septum piercing now. And it's a new me. In one of my other videos, I don't know if I've uploaded it yet, actually, but I talk about changing yourself, and this was a symbol for me. It's a symbol for my ascending sign. So I'm a Taurus ascending sign, which means that people see this kind of stubborn bull a little bit, right? Like I can get entrained in my I can get stuck, right, in my stubbornness, but my stubbornness comes from my belief in my rightness, always. And I do have an open mind to others, but they have to convince me that I'm wrong first before I'll even engage with their ideas, typically. And so I can appear just, to be this bullheaded idiot sometimes. And it reminds me that I have that kind of image, that mask, right? And so that's why I got the piercing. Anyway, this video I wanted to talk about the whole idea around letting go of relationships that aren't serving. Relationships are the hardest, I think, the hardest things we're going to have to learn how to deal with. Because people are all unique, and because we love people, we build these connections with them naturally. And then when those people misbehave in some way and wrong us, we don't want to lose them, so we tend to make excuses for them. We tend to kind of say, oh, well, they didn't really mean it, or they're gonna realize that their mistake and apologize, or they're gonna do these things, and really, like, if somebody wrongs you enough, it is okay to just cut ties. Like, forgive them and don't hold on to grudge, but just stop talking to them. And if they reach out, just ignore them if you don't want to deal with their stuff, unless you have reason to believe that they've actually shifted or changed, and you want to give it another try. But just keep in mind that it's you're risking having this person who's not aligned with their true self, or not aligned with your true self, imposing their negativity onto you. That's really what it is. It's and people can do it to you without, they don't even mean to. So a lot of times it's not even really their fault necessarily that it's happening. And so when you're considering, like, if you're gonna stop a relationship or not, all relationships can be stopped. You're not obligated to speak with your family just because they're blood. You're not obligated to speak with your children. You're not obligated to speak with anyone. Now, I say children, I mean, if they're little kids, I think you're obligated to speak with them, yes. But once they become adults, you have to, in my opinion, to be a good parent, you need to sort of assess when they started to hit that maturity whereby they don't really need your guidance and advice so much anymore. And once they hit that, you need to kind of just let them go. Now, it doesn't mean don't talk to them. Just let them go and experience their life, right? And hope that you've shown them some wisdom over the years, and that they'll apply that wisdom, and hope as well that they'll make mistakes so that they can learn from them like you did. But you're not obligated to speak to anybody. And this message is in particular, there's been a couple people that have been talking to me about their twin flame who has, I think a lot of twin flames are going through this, like, weird time for major catalysts for each other. Like, they're doing things that are out of character for both of them. And their Mercury retrograde was there, and I think it would cause like communication breakdown, but then also There's Chiron in retrograde, and for the next several months, I think till December. And then the moon energy is all about challenge too. So there's all this energetic alignment that's pushing towards almost like a conflict, interpersonal conflict. And so this message is in particular for twin flames, because that the intense connection that you have, like it can't be described. You'd have to experience it yourself to understand it. And so if you have experienced it, then that's amazing, because it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to feel that connected to somebody. It goes beyond any type of marriage or anything on this earthly plane. It goes beyond words. It goes beyond any explanation that I could offer to you. And, I do believe that everybody has a twin flame. It's not that, but they may not be incarnate. So look within, and you may be able to find that energy within you, and you can develop a very, very beautiful relationship with that. It almost would seem like a spirit guide, but a spirit guide that you feel this deep, 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 almost like a romantic love for. And what happens when they're physical is typically there's like a conduit, a connection between the two of you that builds strength over time. And then depending on how sensitive you are to it, you can sometimes kind of hear them through it, or you can hear them when they're calling out to you in ways like when they're going through something. You may suddenly feel a wave of very strong sadness if they feel it, or anger, or whatever. And it can be difficult to identify where it's coming from. And it's important to know two things. A, that conduit, you built it and you can tear it down. And then you can build it again. If your twin is causing you discomfort with their, like maybe you're really sensitive, and your twin's causing you all this like negative energy, almost like the emotional, they're on an emotional roller coaster, let's say. So like, for example, for me, I'm a Pisces and Cancer, Pisces Sun, Cancer Moon. So I'm emotional. I'm like an emotional wreck, honestly, inside. I don't know. I don't tend to appear that way. And so I can imagine that my emotions would cause problems for someone, right? And it's important to remember that, like, the twin flame union, or not the twin flame union, but the twin flame energy is so beyond anything that if you are in separation, like, it's not going to be forever. I don't think it'll be forever. Now, it may be 10 years, maybe a decade, right? It all depends on what karmic stuff needs to be resolved. And then it it's about timing. It's about the divine perfection of timing. And that's when the union will occur. And you can't rush it. You can't push for it. If either twin pushes for a union, the other one will pull away. Both just need to kind of naturally flow into union, is really how it works. And I'm not in union with twin flame, so but I do have experience with the energy. So I'm speaking on a topic that I do know about. And it's hardest with a twin flame, because when you're in separation, and especially if it's a separation where, like, because you can have a sort of different tiers of separation, I would say. Like, there's separation where you're just physically away from each other. You still talk a lot, but you're technically still in separation. And like, you may have other spouses, or you may have, like, who knows, right? And then there's separation where you pull away from each other and don't talk. And that is the hardest one. That's because you feel constantly, you're going to think, oh, I got to tell my twin this, I got to tell my twin this, I got to tell my twin this. And you can't. So then you start to mourn, right? You mourn the loss. It feels like a part of you is dead or dying. And a lot of people feel like physical pain with it. I do. I definitely felt physical pain. I don't know if I talked about it on video or not, but it felt like when I was going through like the most pain, it felt like my skin was like burning, like melting off. It was kind of what it felt like. And it was weird. It was weird, but the whole point of what I'm trying to say, though, is as hard as it is, it's fine. It's all fine. If they truly are your twin and they haven't been just fucking with your head, they'll everything will be fine. But beware, because there are people out there that will manipulate you. There are people out there that understand this concept, and they will use it to sort of lure you in and maybe convince you that they're your twin. And when you meet your twin, you'll know. First of all, you'll know for sure. You won't be questioning it, really. You may question it initially at the beginning because it's so weird, but eventually you just know for sure. And so they can't really trick you if it's real. But if it's not real, you can be convinced of it, right? Like anything else. It's like any other karmic relationship. It's important. It's important to give yourself permission to pull away from all people that are not aligning with you. They're not serving you. As you serve others, others should serve you and your purpose, if that makes sense. At the very least, they should not hinder your purpose. And so, like, for example, for a long time, I was putting up with people in my life that literally just try to convince me that either I'm crazy or I'm not going to be able to do whatever I'm doing, like telling me to get a job and stuff like that. Like, I'm working on building a business, but they would tell me to get a job. And I'm like, well, why would I get a job if I'm building a business? Right? It doesn't make sense. But somehow in their mind, because the job that's the way to be stable. And for whatever reason, they didn't understand the business. But they also never asked. They never knew what the plan even was. They never had an opportunity to even hear what I was doing. So somehow they managed to feel like my business would be unstable, without even knowing what it is. So it's situations like that you can like just look at and be like, this person is clearly like just acting out some sort of pain that they're going through. They're clearly just, something about what you're doing is triggering them to act and say these things that are just ridiculous. And you don't have to listen to it. You just don't have to. And once you let it go and forgive them and just move on, it stops, because they don't have that opening. They'll stop trying to tell you because they know you're not listening to them. They'll feel it, and it's just like any other manifestation or law of attraction. Like attracts like, right? Like you attract as a mirror, a reflection of your internal state, as within, so without, as above, so below, the Hermetic principles. All is vibration. And so as you love yourself more and know that you're not gonna be taken advantage of, you're just not gonna participate in these weird karmic things anymore, because you've dealt with them and you've healed from them and now you're done with it. If they want to continue to have a relationship with you, then they'll have a relationship that's harmonious with you, or they won't have one at all. And it can seem at first like you're being very selfish, right? It can seem like you're being mean and rude, and like some people, especially people that have been with you a long time or in your life a long time that have done a lot of stuff for you, they tend to feel like, especially like a parent or something, they tend to feel like, think all these sacrifices I've made for you, and I bother you about your business for a while, and now you don't talk to me? What? They can't fathom it. And they feel like they're being treated unfairly. And maybe they are, but only you can decide that for yourself, right? You need to think about it. Like, am I treating this person fairly? Have I given them enough opportunity? Have I explained to them that they're going to lose me as a person in their life if they don't stop? Because sometimes people just need that warning. Sometimes people don't realize, right? And so it's important to let them know that if XYZ doesn't stop, it's setting boundaries, right? I have a video on it, and it's really just setting boundaries for them. And if they adhere to the boundaries, great. But if they don't, great. Either way, you're fine, right? If they're not adhering to the boundaries, then just let them go, you know? And it's surprisingly easy, because when the karmic issues aren't there anymore and you're not doing the karmic lessons, it's not painful for you. You simply understand that even though you're going to miss this person, and maybe you love them, maybe they're very important to you, that they're just not good for you right now. They're just not, for whatever the reason. It could even be as simple as like if you're in a twin type scenario, and you're kind of chasing your twin, let's say, and they just keep I don't even know, because when you chase them, they'll run typically, right? So they keep running away, and the trick is to then go, oh, well, I'm just gonna stop chasing you then. I mean, if you want to run away, run away. I mean, you can run for days if you want, but they can't outrun they can't outrun the love between you. So they'll run away, and then they'll realize, oh, actually, I better go back because I missed the shit out of this person, or whatever it is. And then because the intense love and affection is there, and you're literally two halves of the same soul, really, you're like, whatever caused the separation or whatever things happened, like, it doesn't even matter what they are. Of course, you need to forgive each other, but most likely, especially if you're awakened already, you already know about the power of forgiveness. So both of you are probably already forgiven each other almost as soon as it happened. But you can worry about it too. So you might refuse to reach out to them because you're worried that they'll reject you, right? Things like that. But these thoughts and feelings aren't very healthy, and you can really ruminate on them and really spin your tires thinking about these things, and being sort of distracted from your purpose by these negative thoughts. That's really what it is, negative thoughts. And once you let go, though, it feels like, you'll just feel that weight just fall off your shoulders. It's the karmic tie is gone. So there's no more pain from it. There may be longing, there may be some missing, there may be still a lot of thinking about them, and all these are fine. It's fine to do these things. It's fine to long for someone. It's fine to love them and to miss them and to want to speak with them but not be able to. It's fine to feel those things. And one thing I want to recommend is, if you start to feel that way, it takes about 90 seconds for the body to process through a full emotional discharge. And so don't rush it. Just think it through and feel it, and try to sit with it for a full 90 seconds. This is how you can make sure to process the entire emotional outburst, which allows your energy systems to then remain balanced. It doesn't get caught up and plug up your, dam up your energetic flow. And it doesn't matter how strong the emotion is. It's 90 seconds. So it could be a light thing, it could be a heavy thing, it could, it could be dark, but whatever it is, 90 seconds. 90 seconds is the go-to. I don't know where I learned that. I think I learned it from my friend, Dr. Tassel. I'll link her webpage below because she's running these amazing programs that I really think people would benefit from. She's such a tremendous woman, and I haven't talked to her in a little while, and I miss her. But she is just a tremendous person, and so I'll link her thing below, and you can check it out. She does I think donation based. They were donation based. Basically these sessions, they're like group sessions, and she'll do like different Kundalini practices or mantras she'll help you with, and like as a group they'll everyone comes together and it's all like-minded people and practicing these new practices. And anyways, I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I'll link it because she's amazing. But I think it was her who told me 90 seconds. And so I started to try that, and it's true. Like, you can feel it. You feel the emotion ramp up, and then it starts to sort of come down as it gets processed and integrated. And then, after 90 seconds, it's gone. And so if you have to blubber and cry for 90 seconds, that's fine. Like, just do it. I cried multiple times today. Multiple times. And today is the best day ever. Every day is the best day ever. That's the trick. But like, literally, I was just listening to a song, and it was just such a beautiful song. I'm gonna play it for you guys because it's so beautiful. I can't get over how beautiful it is. But it also gave me a lot of pain, just in a couple different ways. But anyways, don't be afraid to cut people out of your life. Don't be afraid to do it. Sometimes too, people need to know how much they're messing up. They need to understand that you're not gonna put up with it, right? They just need to know that and see that, and then they'll usually change their tune. If they want to remain a part of your life, they'll change their tune. Simple. If they don't change their tune, then they're just not in the life, and that's fine. What do you guys think? Has there been any relationships that you haven't been able to do that with? If you let me know in the comments, maybe I can help you change perspectives a little bit, or maybe I can offer some guidance there, because I've had to do it with a lot of people. A lot of people I had to just stop talking to them. And a lot of people that I thought were good friends of mine aren't. They're just not. And it's fine. It doesn't bother me. It did at first, because at first I felt attacked, right? I felt like, why are my friends attacking me like this? Like, why, right? But they weren't my friends, so that's one of the reasons. But the other reason was that I was allowing them to attack me. I'm a sovereign being. I'll decide who attacks me. You can try and attack me, but how do you attack somebody who's sitting in peace? You can't. You just can't. You can't do it. Now, so I do want to hear if you guys have trouble with it, because it is challenging, and you can feel like some people are so important to you that, like, it's just impossible that you stop talking to them. It's impossible. But it's really not. It's really not. And at first it is hard, and it gets easier as time goes on. And I just wanted to say that, like, the people, I didn't believe this when I heard it the first time, but the people that resonate with what you're doing, your soul tribe, your soul family, your star family, your like-minded people. Like attracts like. They just fall into your life, like Dr. Tassel, for example. She just fell into my life. She just randomly, she saw something I posted somewhere and added me on Facebook, and then we became amazing friends. And I love her dearly. And it's interesting. It's interesting how it happens, especially with the internet and stuff. Like, people just fall into your life. People that are in alignment with you, or people that need to teach you a very particular and specific lesson. They'll fall in, teach you the lesson, and then disappear. It's very strange, very strange. But let me know your experiences in the comments. Have you started to find your soul family? Have you started to find people that are more in alignment? As you start to find those people, you start to realize the people who aren't in alignment, you can just ditch them. And it sounds harsh, but like, they're not. They're usually negatively affecting your ascension process and their own, because they're perpetuating more negative energy and thoughts when they're trying to communicate with you. So by not talking to them, you're not enabling them to do that to themselves. So you can think of it that way as well, that you're actually doing them a bit of a favor in many ways. And you're trying to be mature and responsible about who you give your energy to. Why give your power to people that are just going to take advantage of you, or are just going to make you feel like garbage about it? Just don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, or do it. It's your choice, right? But just be aware. Just be aware that that's what's happening, right? And then it's up to you. It's up to you how much you want to put up with. It's up to you if you don't want to put up with any shit at all. And it's up to you what you even tell them. You don't have to tell them anything. You're not obligated to tell them how, like, what you're doing or why. You're not obligated to share that information with people. It's up to you what you do and why you do it. So, just, I hope this video was helpful. I decided to pull over to do this because it just seems safer, and I can look at the camera a little bit more and get more engaged. Excuse me. And I keep forgetting that I have a nose piercing, and I see myself and I'm like, who's that dude? I don't know if I like it. It's kind of weird looking to me, but I think I just got to get used to it. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Try to be honest with me. Does it suit me or not? I'm gonna keep it regardless. I'm just curious because I can't tell myself. I'm like, I look at myself and I'm like, yeah, I think it suits me, and then I catch a glimpse. I'm like, whoa, I don't know. But I'll probably put a smaller one in anyway in a little bit after it heals. I think that's it. But if you have any questions or anything about any of this stuff I'm talking about here, just leave them below. If you want to do one-on-one work with me, whether it's a tarot reading